In lesson 4, we're going to be converting decimals to fractions, fractions to decimals. And this will help when we are comparing decimals and fractions. So we're going to work on ordering numbers. So they want us to order the following numbers from least to greatest. That is going to be hard to do when these fractions are not turned into decimals. So they're going to take the fraction and turn it into a decimal, and then they will put the decimals in order. So it says converting everything to fractions with a common denominator of 100 gives us these results. So 1/2, when you convert it to a fraction with the denominator of 100, it'd be 50 over 100. 0.55 is going to be 55 over 100. 3/4 would be 75 over 100. And remember, just take your numerator, divide it by your denominator to get that number. 0.6 is going to be 6 over 10. There's only the tenths place value here. That's why it's over 10. And 4/5 would be 80 over 100. Now, converting everything to decimals gives us these results. And that's kind of what I just explained. So 1 divided by 2 is 0.5, so that would be 0.50. 0.55 stays the same. 3/4, 3 divided by 4 is 0.75. 0.6 becomes 0.60, and 4 divided by 5 is 0.8, which becomes 0.80. On 1 through 4, we're going to convert those decimals to fractions. So the first thing you have to look at is your place value. How many numbers do you have in number 1? So we have 3 numbers here. So that's going to be ones, tens, hundreds. So your denominator is going to be 100 because that's your place value. So your denominator is going to be 100. Your numerator is going to be the number right there. So that would be 58 over 100. Number 2, for our denominator, we're going to look at our place value. So we have ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. So I'm in the thousands place value. So my denominator is going to be 1,000. Now this one, number 2, is 1.894, 1.894. So I have a whole number. So that whole number, so when I say whole number, that's the number I'm talking about. That's going to go on the outside right here. So 1 and 894 over 1,000 is what that fraction would look like. Number 3, 3.03. So we're still going to look at our place value. So I have ones, tens, hundreds. I have 3 numbers. So that's going to be in the hundreds place value. So my denominator is 100. I have a number that comes before the decimal point, which is this number right there. So that number is going to go on the outside here. That's your whole number. In 0.3, this would be 3 over 100. So I have 3 and 3 over 100. 7.7. 7.7. I have a number that comes before the decimal point, so that's going to be my whole number. That's going to be my outside number. Now, my denominator, look at your place value. How many place values do you have? You have ones, tens. So my denominator here is going to be 10. So 7.7 would be 7 and 7/10. On 5 through 8, you just have to take those fractions. It says convert the following fractions to terminating decimals. So you're going to use your calculator to do that. So 7 divided by 8 for 7/8 would be 0.8. 0.875. 1/4, 1 divided by 4 would be 0.25. So using your calculator, take your numerator and divide it by your denominator. On 9 through 12, convert the following fractions to repeating decimals. So you're going to get a repeating decimal here. So on 1 divided by 3, you would see 0.333 and dot, dot, dot. 5 divided by 6, you would get 0.833 dot, dot, dot. Again, use your calculator, show the dot, dot, dot for repeating. All right, on 13 and 14, this is we're gonna practice ordering from least to greatest, but we have to take the fractions and turn them into decimals. Okay, so 1/2 as a decimal, 1 divided by 2 is 0.50. And then I have 0.45, and then 1/4, 1 divided by 4, that's going to be 0.25. Now you're going to put those in order from least to greatest. So what's my smallest decimal here? My smallest decimal here would be, and I'm going to do mine down here, would be 0.25. My next smallest decimal would be 0.45. And my greatest decimal would be 0.50. So here's my 1/2. And my nope, that's not right. My 1/2 is my 0.50. And they gave us 0.45, and this would be my 1/4. 0.25 is my 1/4. So you're going in order from least to greatest. On slide number 3, you have a couple different sets of directions. On 1 through 3, you're going to convert the decimals to fractions. So remember, think about your place value. Make sure you think about if you have any numbers that come before your decimal point. So 0.79, look at your place value, ones, tens, hundreds. So my denominator there would be 100. Your numerator would be 79 over 100. 4 through 6, convert the fractions to terminating decimals. So you would take your numerator, divide it by your denominator, and give me your decimal answer. 7 through 9, convert the fractions to repeating decimals. So 2 divided by 3 is going to be 0.666 dot, dot, dot for repeating. And then number 10, this is important. I want you to practice this. You're going to put those in order from least to greatest. So I have 0.75, 2/5, and 1/4. You need to take your fractions. You need to take 2/5 and 1/4 and make those decimals. So 2/5 would be 0.40 and 1/4 would be 0.25. So take these decimals along with your 0.75 and your 0.6 in order from least to greatest. So from smallest to biggest.